Hello everybody. So I've got a bit of time, so I'm going to do a couple more streams this week and next than I usually do. So I'm on holiday. So what I wanted to share today, as returning to something I should have done a little while ago, is Foundry modules. And this one in particular, I really found very, very useful over the last couple of weeks. So it's roll table from Sidebar and journal. Long title basically does exactly what it says on the tin. It allows you to roll a table from the sidebar or the journal rather than having to click on a link to the table that pops up the table with all the results and then saying roll with the animation and then post to chat. So it's very much a quality of life mod. I'll show you how that works. Made by somebody, let's just give the credit here, called Jeans and Vars. Jeans and Vars. Originally created by Human. Okay. So I have loaded up a game, and I'm using, this is the module here, of course. I'm going to use the Dragonbane again, which I've been experimenting with. Because one of the things I was doing in Dragonbane is I played a lot of, two solo games. And these solo games are often heavily reliant on tables. So I have my little dwarf adventurer here, and as he goes into the different dungeons, you need to roll tables and tables over tables and tables. So I created here, hopefully you can see that on this side. I might just have to resize it a little bit. Quite a few tables for solo mode. Let me blow that up a bit so you can see it better. Yeah, that should work better. So you can see lots and lots of tables. And typically what you do is you go into the system, you click on the table, it opens up the table. You then find the roll button at the bottom, hit it, and then it spits out something into the chat over here and say, okay, what you find contents of the room are fresh corpses. That can be a bit arduous, especially because it sort of destroys the immersion if you constantly have to pop open the table. So with this module enabled, you have two options. You can either go again to your tables and you see the little die icon over here. So you can just click on contents of the room, and it does it right away. Mummified corpses. Oh, that's better, is it? Not sure. Or you can create a module. Sorry, not a module, a journal entry. So for example, I have a journal here which has got my solo tables in it. Looks like this. Yeah, so I pulled out all the tables into sort of a sensible order. And then from here, I can just click on it. This is a right click. That's the important thing. And you can see I've got this narrator. I think it's got narration tools on as well. So the right click is double used. That's a bit clunky, but it still rolled it. I said, for example, here's a lofty bridge in this room. Or I can say I want to scavenge roll. What do I find? Yeah, rather than popping it open like this, it just came up. Supplies roll 4, so I rolled a 4, which is lockpicks. I find lockpicks. So this is a roll that I coded within the table as something that rolls immediately. 2 square brackets around it, and it will do it. So that's already a lot better than having to open the table all the time. You can also, on top of this, put this in the GM screen. Now, the GM screen recently has come back out as a version 10 module. Yeah, so it was one of my absolute favorites before. Still enjoy it. It's slightly different now, but this is the very same journal entry I just showed you. I just put it on my GM screen. And I can now say, okay, I'm rolling a demon in melee, which is basically a fumble. I right click on it and immediately it pops up the results over here. So this makes tables much more accessible. And I can, of course, share this tab here. And the GM screen configuration, I can say, is shared with the players. So if you have players who need to roll on crit tables or on loot tables and so on, rather than saying, oh, you have to click over there and then you have to click on that and then you have to click on that, just pop them into this sort of GM screen, make it a player screen for them. And with one right click, they have the table there. And it's a short little snippet of a module, but I think it's extremely useful, and I wanted to share that with you. So I've got a couple of people in the chat. If you have any questions, do ask. Otherwise, I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. And say, well, probably the best module I found this week. That's high praise, because I looked at quite a few modules. So, and I just realized I haven't renamed my dwarf yet. So I'll give you a moment if you have any questions. Roman. There you go, that's a bit better. Ulim. Oh, hi Mohammed. How are you doing? Friendly link activated. So I won't do that. My grumpy dwarf here for my solo. That looks a bit better. Have I actually renamed him? Yes, I have. This is the link guy. Right, really useful little module. Definitely add it to your list. And there used to be roll tables button, which you had down here, and you click on it and it would fold out all the tables that you had accessible. Not sure that still works. I haven't seen it for a while, but this one definitely I like a lot. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there because I want to keep it short and sweet, and I might just do another one on party resources. So if you want to do, if you don't know about party resources yet, then stay on the stream or come back on and I'll do the next one. Speak to you in a minute. Bye for now.